Hello, everyone. What's up? What's up? It's a better key coming back at you. um, this video I'm going to talk about the pulmonary clearance that you have to go through in order to have the BMI surgery or the bariatric. Or my doctor said he does this for every surgery that he does, and he does. I believe I'm seeing Dr. Joyce at Silver Cross Hospital near in New Lenox, Illinois. He said that he does 4 surgeries, the lap band, the bariatric, the bypass surgery, the sleeve, which is the one I'm going to have, and he also does the balloon, which he said is very expensive, and you only, you only can have it in 6 months, and it's not really that great of a result as you would have with anything else. And you have to pay cash because your insurance doesn't cover it. Um, Anyways, so there are several steps to this process. One of them being that you have to take a mental evaluation, and once you're cleared from that, with my insurance, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois, you have to do that as well as take a nutritional course. And once you do that, they give you the certificate that you took that class. I'm already cleared from the mental evaluation, which I'll talk about in another video. They'll send that in for clearance, and then um, and then once that comes back, then they'll schedule you for surgery. But you have to get cleared not only from that's just one part. So now you have to get cleared from the pulmonary doctor, which is for your lungs, to make sure you can breathe. And like if you're obese and you're fat like I am, of course you can't breathe. And then the other one is for the heart doctor to make sure your heart is functioning, because they don't want to go through a surgery and have the unknown happening. So I'm really grateful that they want you to go through these processes so they can make sure you're healthy. Because like I said, my goal for having the surgery, is to live a long life. I want to live. I don't want to just live. I don't want to live in fat. I want to live and enjoy my life and travel and do all those things with my kids and see my grandkids and great grandkids, as I mentioned in a prior video. Um, anyway, so the pulmonary doctor, I drive all the way to Palos Heights, which is, I don't mind driving there because I went to Trinity Christian College, which is in Palos Heights. Didn't finish there. Didn't really like the school. It was all right, but I don't mind driving all the way out there to Palos Heights. And when I got in the office, it's a real small office. You didn't actually see a doctor. You saw the nurse practitioner. And when I went in there, they were like unorganized and not together. And one thing I hate about anything, if you know me, you know that I go off for you being unprepared, and like if you don't know your own job or your own business or how to manage, it irritates my soul. Like, I feel like, damn, can I have your job? Don't tell me to call another place and you don't even know the process. Like, know your job, period. Get in there. I'm standing at the counter waiting on them to say, hi, welcome, or can I have your insurance card and your ID? I stood there for like 5 minutes. Exactly. That's how I was like looking. I'm like, what the hell? Excuse me. I don't usually cuss, but it was making me mad. And once she took my ID, then they couldn't find my paper. Now I made this appointment. I went for, that's another thing I failed to mention. Let's bag all the way up. In order to even get an appointment with the surgeon or the surgeon office, let me check the time. Oh, okay. To get an appointment with the surgeon or the surgeon's office, you have to go to an informative meeting, which is also a part of insurance requirement. You have to learn about everything that they offer, the good, the bad, and the ugly of the surgery. So that's the first step. And then they take your insurance information in, call and check if your insurance covers it, blah, 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 blah. Then you go through the other stuff. But anyways, the next day, that was like 2, maybe 3 weeks ago. The next day after that, I'm lying, it was 2 weeks. The next day after that, I called my BMI surgery doctor, and they sent me a list of cards of doctors that they associate themselves with, because I'm like, it's the end of the year. I'm trying to have this surgery done before December 31st so that I can, my insurance is covering it, and I ain't got to pay for all that money. I mean, I ain't got time to be like having to pay all that. So I called and made an appointment that day. That was 2 weeks ago. I get in this office today, and these people couldn't even find a paper that said my name. Like, excuse me? Excuse me? That's how I was looking like, because like I said, it irritates me when people don't know their job or are not prepared. Like, to be ill prepared is an irritation for me. Anyways, they finally get the new patient paperwork to me. I sit down and fill it out. It was nothing. Filled it out, took it to the counter. Oh, she's sitting there talking on the phone. I see other patients' information sitting right there. Like, if I was, like, why do that? People are criminals out here. They can just take people's information and be like, going to get credit cards and stuff. But I'm not that person. I just told the lady, can you turn that paperwork over? Because I don't want to see nobody else's information. You feel what I'm saying? And I don't want my paperwork. I don't want my information showing, because if it starts showing, it's going to be a problem. I instantly got an attitude. Had an attitude, so seeing a doctor or seeing whoever, they weren't going to get the better key on that day. So I, anyways, went back to see the pulmonologist or whatever it's called. But I didn't even see a doctor. I saw a nurse practitioner, which I'm thinking I'm seeing the doctor. No, it's a nurse practitioner. She's like 20. She's young. She's like, got an attitude, not prepared. First, I see her assistant. She must be like a nurse or something. And she was like, you got to take this breathing test real quick. And that's for clearance for surgery. I said, okay. She's like, you get to take it 3 times. It's like this thing they put in there is computerized. And they put the thing in there. And you got like, now put your mouth on it, but you got to breathe in like, and then blow it out. But then put your mouth on the thing and blow it out. I had the hardest time doing that stuff. Like, I'm like confused. I'm like, hey, I'm not slow by any means. Please don't think I'm slow, y'all. But I couldn't blow out. I'm like, what is this? I'm like, did I do it right? She was like, no, but that counts as 1. Like, what? Like, if I didn't do the test right, and that's inaccurate, like. And then the second time, you're supposed to put your mouth around it. I blew in it like. She was like, that's wrong too. I'm like, okay, so if that's wrong, then I need to do those 2 over, right? Nope, it counts as 2. Get to the third one, I do the third one right, which I almost got to. You're supposed to get like a 6. I got like a 5.5 or something like that on that one. The other 2, she was like, when the nurse practitioner came in, she was like, I don't know what you were doing. Anyway, so she comes in, she's like, you didn't pass that because you should be able to at least get to a 6. I'm like, well, even if I did take the test right, I'm fat. Like, that's why I'm trying to have this surgery. You understand what I'm saying? So I can do that. I can't breathe. And so She was like, that's exactly how she was looking at me. And I'm like, I already got an attitude with this office, so you really don't want to get me started on today. So then she's like, oh, well, I guess you should have an x-ray test. And oh, I think you should have a pulmonary respiratory test or something, pulmonary function test. I think you should have all that done. Oh, and no, let me look at your tonsil. I'm like, I already know. My tonsils are big. They've been big all my life, even before I was big. So you ain't got to tell me about that. I'm fine. I'm still here. You don't understand what I'm saying? Imagine being a little girl with these tonsils. They've been the same all my life. She's like, well, I'm not clearing you for surgery if you don't do what I say. I'm like, I didn't say I wasn't going to do what you say, because I don't want to die on the operating table. Who does? My goal of the surgery is to live a long life, not a short one. So she was like, well, we're not going to clear you unless you do all this thing. I'm like, so if I don't pass the sleep study, that mean I can't have the surgery? I'm getting pissed. I'm getting madder and madder because I'm already mad at how the office operated. She was like, no, it doesn't mean that. You'll get clear. We're just going to take precautions, make sure we take extra precautions with you. I'm like, oh, okay. How long does it take for, this stuff to get done and get back? Well, you can do this in the office. You can do the chest x-ray and the pulmonary function test here in the office. You can do the sleep study we don't do. And when I get, you'll get it done. You'll get it done. So she told me maybe a week or 2 weeks. I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool, because I still have to go to the heart test. She's like, okay, come on. No, we're done. Nice to meet you. Even when she came in, it wasn't any like, hi, I'm Dr. So-and-so. Nice to meet you, Kiera. None of that. So she wouldn't get no better key. So she's like, is there a certain time frame you need this back? I said, yeah, I need it back as soon as possible. That means I need it back like the first available date. And hold on, guys, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I don't know if I told you guys or not, but I am at the hospital because I have an appointment at 2. Anyways, I was in their library and they're having a meeting in a few minutes, so I gotta, people probably think I'm crazy videotaping. But as I was saying about the pulmonologist, she was like, not like how a professional should be. The office, period. Get to the front. I'm like, yeah, she told me I could have these 2 tests done here, blah, blah, blah. She was like, she whispered to the doctor, this is the receptionist, whispered to the nurse practitioner and told her, I don't think we can have it here because some. I'm like, excuse me? She's like, oh, we can't have it here. Strike like 12. Don't tell me you can do something here and then you can't. You're the nurse practitioner. I think you should know what y'all can and cannot do in the office. So I end up, this for the x-ray and the PFT. I'm like, okay, what about the sleep study? The receptionist answers the phone while I'm talking to her. And she didn't put the caller on hold. She just was like, well, we don't do the sleep study here. We do the sleep study. She's not talking to me, reminded you. She's talking to somebody on the phone. We do it, you have to call this number, and they have like several locations. And first you got to go for a consult, and then you do the sleep study. I'm like, didn't we just come to the doctor? If we went to the doctor and they suggested a sleep study, shouldn't we be able to just go for the sleep study? Nevertheless, she didn't say it to me. She got off the phone. I'm like, so what's going on? She's like, oh, you have to find a place to get these 2 done. These 2 tests done in the sleep study. You need to call them. And the doctor was like, the nurse practitioner was like, call them as soon as you walk out this office. I'm like, okay. And I'll just call you guys when think you guys should have received the results. And she's like, yeah. So I get in the car and I call the sleep study place first because I'm like, I know that I have this appointment here at Silver Cross at 2. Like, I'm just gonna come here and I'm sure I can do a walk-in for the x-ray and the PFT. You probably have to have an appointment for that test, and I'll just make an appointment when I get there. So I called the sleep study place. She's like, oh no, ma'am, we gotta have the order from the doctor first. We can't even talk to you until we get that order. What's your name? What's your number? I'm like, why didn't they tell me this? Why did she tell me to hurry up and as soon as I get in the car to call you guys? So why? Was she trying to get rid of me because I had an attitude? Hell yeah, I had an attitude. Your office is unprofessional and don't know what the hell they doing. Like, know your damn job, period. So, anyways, I'm waiting on them to call me back for that. I came to the hospital. As I said, I had an appointment. I have an appointment at 2 for this nutritional meeting or whatever. And I had the x-ray done of the chest. That was like, whop the bam, done. So quick. Silver Cross is so damn, like, they're professional. I had my first baby here. My second one, I don't want to talk. I'll talk about that if y'all want me to talk about my hospital stories with my babies. Them some good stories. I could tell y'all that. Anyways, so I'm here. I had the x-ray done, the PFT I'll have done the same day that I have I have to go to the heart doctor. So that's cool. Get that done, get in back to see the pulmonologist so she can clear me so that I can have a surgery date because I'm gonna need that date ASAP. You feel me? Anywho, I'm tired of being fat. I gotta make myself a better key. Hope y'all enjoyed my video. Y'all have a blessed day. I'll be back on another video soon. I gotta encourage y'all while I'm encouraging me. Don't give up, y'all. There may be some stumbling blocks, but you can get it done on your time. Don't let nobody tell you either that you can't do it in a certain amount of time, because I was told that, and I'm getting it done. Bye, guys.